At 2:06 p.m., my AC sighed, the fridge beeped, and the house went dead. Mid-July, 96 degrees. I checked the street, every neighbor's ceiling fan still spinning. Just me, dark. 30 minutes later, an email from the HOA popped up. Reminder: exterior lighting must match community standards. Weird timing. We'd be back online by evening, but not because of the board. By sunset, a utility tech would tag my meter tampered by third party. The police would take a report, and I'd send the HOA a neat little invoice for spoiled. Groceries, a generator, and an electrician, plus one line item titled, "You touched the wrong switch." First check, my breaker panel. All switches on. No tripped breakers. Second check, the meter. The plastic seal that usually sits on the A. Disconnect handle looked wrong. The tag was snapped and a zip tie I'd never seen hung where the utility seal should have been. I called the power company. Outage at my address. Neighbors have power, I said. The dispatcher pinged the grid. There's no area outage, she said. Your meter shows a manual disconnect at 2:04 p.m. We didn't send anyone. I looked at the camera feed from the side yard. At 1:58 p.m., a white pickup with magnetic maintenance signs rolled up. The HOA president, visor clipboard, pointed at my side gate. A guy in a neon shirt walked over, opened the gate, and went straight to the exterior service disconnect beside my meter. He pulled the handle down. My porch camera caught the exact moment the house died. They left at 2:03 p.m., like it was a coffee run. I called the management company. Beige voice Carla answered. Hey, it's me at 2:18. My power is out. Did the HOA send someone to my meter? Pause. The board requested a routine safety inspection of exterior lighting. Your unapproved floodlights and cameras create hazards. Hazards don't cut power, I said, and you didn't send notice. It was a mistake, Carla said, already retreating. The contractor may have temporarily interrupted your service. Please work with your utility to restore power. It's 96 degrees, I said. My fridge is full. My dog is panting like a train. Nevertheless, she said, and I nearly invented a new swear word. At 3:10 p.m., a utility truck arrived. The tech, a guy named Marcus with a sunburn and the patience of a saint, checked the meter. Seal's broken, he said. That's our seal. Only we touch this. He clicked a handheld. Yup, manual disconnect at 2:04 p.m. Not us. He looked at the camera above his head. You got video? Front row seats, I said. He replaced the seal, flipped the handle up, and the house exhaled back to life. The AC roared like the world's best apology. Then Marcus got official. He photographed the broken seal, wrote third-party tamper on a bright orange tag, and handed me a carbon copy. Call the police non-emergency line, he said. Get a report. If it happens again, we prosecute. And for the record, nobody, not an HOA, not a contractor, cuts electric to a dwelling for a rule. That's not a thing. With the power back, the clock started on everything else. The fridge, warm for over an hour, was a biohazard. I tossed groceries, saved what I could in a cooler, and texted my neighbor Jerry. He rolled up with a generator he calls Old Sparky. We set it in the garage as backup because trust is earned and my house had just failed its pop quiz. Then the binder came out. If you've been here before, you know about the binder. Screenshot of the HOA email about exterior lighting. Still frames. Contractor opening my gate. Hand on the disconnect. Me staring at the sun. Utility tag photo and Marcus's card. Receipts. Groceries, generator rental, I upgraded Old Sparky for the night, and a $95 emergency visit from my electrician to make sure nothing else fried. Wrote a calm email to the board and the management company. Subject, unauthorized power disconnection at 2:04 p.m. Demand to cease and reimburse. At 2:04 p.m., your contractor entered my side yard and shut off my service disconnect without notice or consent. Video attached. Utility confirms manual non-utility disconnect. They replaced their tamper seal and issued a tamper tag. Police report, 2025-0719-1118. Result, spoiled food, emergency rental of a generator, electrician check. Demand, reimburse $487.32, itemized attached, and confirm in writing that no board member, agent, or contractor will access my meter but service equipment without my consent or a utility order. FYI, your own CC&Rs prohibit any action that interferes with essential services. Also, state law treats utility tampering as a criminal offense. I CC'd the HOA's insurance carrier because I am both petty and efficient. Carla responded first. We regret any inconvenience. The contractor may have used the wrong switch while verifying compliance of exterior fixtures. Please submit reimbursement requests via the portal. Wrong. Switch. The board president, Paula, followed up with a masterpiece of denial. Your cameras and floodlights are unapproved and unsafe. The board can inspect common and exterior areas at any time. We will not reimburse you for choosing to store perishables. Choosing to store perishables. In a kitchen, I replied with 1 sentence and 3 attachments. Please forward this to your counsel. Then I called mine. My attorney, Mark, wrote a letter that sounded like a traffic cone with a law degree. The HOA, through its agents, entered our client's enclosed side yard without consent and interfered with his utility service. Only the utility or a licensed electrician acting at the owner's request may operate the service disconnect. Any other action constitutes unlawful tampering and trespass. Your CC&Rs do not authorize self-help remedies that endanger residents or interrupt essential services. Demand, reimbursement of $487.32 within 10 days. Written non-interference. Commitment and training for board contractors regarding utility equipment and access. Failure will result in claims for trespass, negligence, and conversion, as well as a report to your carrier and the State Utility Commission. He attached stills from the video, the utility tag, and the police report. He CC'd the carrier again, just to marinate. Meanwhile, the neighborhood Facebook group discovered the joy of receipts. I didn't post the video, yet. I posted a simple note. Anyone else lose power today around 2:04 p.m.? Replies rolled in. Nope. No. AC blasting since noon. Then one neighbor added, the HOA maintenance truck was on your side of the street. Someone else. They told me last month they could turn off my porch lights for being too bright. I thought it was bluff. At 8:37 a.m. the next morning, Channel 8 called. Of course. We heard an HOA contractor cut power to a home, the reporter said. Can we confirm? Not on camera, I said. Not yet. At 9:05, the board's attorney emailed Mark. We are investigating. Please refrain from public statements. Translation, please don't give the son a megaphone. The board insisted on a violation hearing for my unapproved exterior devices. Mark said, let's go. Bring the tape. We walked into the clubhouse. Paula sat at the folding table with 2 board members and a contractor I recognized as the neon shirt switch flipper. He wouldn't quite meet my eyes. A camcorder. On a tripod blinked red, Paula started. Your floodlights and cameras are out of community spec. They shine into neighbors' windows and pose safety issues. I slid a paper across the table, motion zone maps and lux readings. They don't aim into windows. The floodlights are 1-800 lumens, down-angled, and cut off at the property line. Also, light doesn't cause power outages. Mark cued, a clip on his tablet. This is your contractor opening our client's gate and operating the service disconnect at 2:04 p.m. He pressed play. We watched the gate swing, the hand pull the handle, the porch cam go black. He played the second. Clip. Utility tech restoring power, tagging the meter, saying, only the utility touches this. Silence. The contractor cleared his throat. We thought that switch fed the landscape lights, Mark didn't blink. Even if it did, you don't operate service equipment without the owner present or utility permission. Paula pivoted. This was a misunderstanding. No harm intended. Harm occurred, Mark said, lifting the itemized receipt. Food spoiled, a generator rented, an electrician hired, and now you're on notice. Keep watching. He played the doorbell clip, Paula pointing, contractor nodding. A quieter board member spoke up. Why did we cut power at all? Paula said. To verify load on the fixtures, for safety. Mark looked at me, then back at them. Electricity isn't soup. It doesn't spill onto the sidewalk. You verify fixture specs with paperwork, not by blacking out a home. They went into executive session. We sat in the hallway with stale coffee and good posture. When they returned, the board's attorney spoke. We will rescind the violation notice regarding exterior devices pending ARC review. We will reimburse $487.32. We will instruct our contractor not to access homeowner service equipment. And the insurance? Mark asked. The attorney nodded. We will notify the carrier of a potential claim. Paula added, tight-jawed. We will add a policy that board members and vendors are not permitted to operate meters or disconnects. I thought we were done until Paula said, but you still need ARC approval for cameras and lights. Mark smiled. Great. Here it is. I slid my original application, time-stamped and ignored from 3 months ago, across the table. Every attachment, every spec. I might have hummed a victory tune. The reimbursement arrived in 7 days. Check cut, memo line, power incident. The ARC actually met, and approved my cameras and floodlights with exactly the conditions I'd proposed at the start. Neutral housings, concealed conduit, no aim at neighbor interiors. Carla sent a mass email to the community. Reminder, only the utility may operate meters and service disconnects. HOA vendors are not authorized. It read like a company discovered stoves are hot. I posted one still from the video in the neighborhood group, not to dunk, but to warn. Caption, PSA, only the utility touches the meter. We're all good. Now. Most comments were supportive. One said, I thought boards had emergency powers. Another replied, emergency doesn't mean the lights are bright. 2 weeks later, Channel 8 aired a quick segment anyway. Blurred faces. My voice pitched lower. Homeowner's power cut during HOA inspection. Utility says, don't touch the meter. Public service announcement achieved. The best part came from the contractor. He knocked on my door one evening, hat in hand. I'm sorry, he said. They told me it fed the landscape circuit. If I could rewind the day, you and me both, I said. No hard feelings. Learn and live. He nodded. We changed our checklist. No meter, no disconnect, unless the utility's there. Remember that neat little invoice? We saved a copy with a note. Paid in full by the HOA. I put it in. The binder with a tab labeled Power. Because if this neighborhood has taught me anything, it's that stories come back around like porch pirates and holiday inflatables. A month later, the board held a safety session with the utility. Marcus, the sunburned saint, stood at the front with a disassembled meter and a checklist. What we touch, he said, and what no one else touches. He pointed at the disconnect, and half the room leaned back instinctively, which is, frankly, the correct posture. Paula sat in the back and, for once, didn't speak. Progress looks funny sometimes. It looks like a clipboard taking notes. Only the utility touches the meter or service disconnect. Not the board, not vendors, not your neighbor's cousin who does electrical. No self-help. HOAs can't enforce rules by cutting essential services. Ever. Use the notice SOC hearing process like adults. Paper and pixels win. Timestamps, utility tags, police report numbers, receipts, bring them. Anger loses, evidence pays you back. CC the PAU. Carrier. Insurance hates risk. A quiet nudge to the HOA's insurer moves mountains. Get ARC right at the start. Submit specs. Propose reasonable conditions. Neutral color, concealed conduit, no window aim. If they ignore you, remind them, politely, in writing. If you like stories where a clipboard flips the wrong switch and ends up paying the bill, hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me your wildest HOA inspection moment below. And to Marcus, from the power company, you're invited to every barbecue forever.